Hello everybody, this is Jen from ScanNCut Canvas and Scal Help on Facebook. Okay, I've promised you a video on the group page about my zig in my mats and then how to use the roll and release, because a lot of you will do the zig and then find that it might be a little too tacky for you. Okay, here's my zig, and you see I still have all 12 of them left, because my zig pen had lasted me 2 years. I still have the other 2 little ones. I've never used them yet. But my zig pens last me a long time. Once you zig it, it'll last you about, this one has lasted 2 years. And you see, it is still nice and tacky. That's just my hands. This one I just retacked because I had to do the strip and retack. You can tell. Look at, I got so much junk off of it. But that was the first one I just put over it. And then this one, when I just redid this, and this was last week, it was a full strip and retack. And I told you I used something different. Goof Off. This I got at Harbor Freight, and it was really cheap. And I'm telling you, this worked really well. I was nervous because I thought it was going to take off the grid marks, and it didn't. You can still see my grid marks, so it worked wonderfully. But it did up here. You see, maybe I'm trying to keep it where you can see. You see it did get on there, and it did start to discolor that, smear it, so I made sure I was very careful. But that's called Goof Off, and I really like the way it worked. You can use any adhesive remover. That's all you need, is just some adhesive remover. Why is that so dark? Okay. So just adhesive remover. Put it on there. Don't go crazy with it. But you can see how white this is compared to this. This one is old. This was the original mat that came with my machine. Okay, so let's get moving. This I'm going to put vinyl down. This is Oracal 651. If you use a higher pressure, you may have difficulty getting this stuff off. When I put stuff down on my mats, I will usually place it, do that, and I'm done. I don't worry about my stuff sliding around. Some people get out brayers and go crazy. You don't need to do that when you use zig. That's it. Just a really light, I mean like fingertip touch. You don't have to worry about it coming off. It's not going to come off. Okay, but for this case, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to get out my brayer, and we're going to go nuts. If you use a pressure of, let's say, 5 or something like that, which we don't recommend. We recommend no pressure of over a -1 unless you're doing a deep cut project, and then you can go to like a 0 or a 1, and that's what I did when I embossed leather for Christmas. I used a pressure of 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you've got some stuff. Ugh. Ow, I just ran my finger over. So you've got some stuff that you just cut, and you want to take it off your mat. Let me see, can you guys even see this? Okay. This is how I will do it. I start to roll. Well, if it looks like it's going to stick, take your scraper and just give it a scrape right off of your mat. Okay? This is called the roll and release. This is what I call it anyhow. This is how I'll get my stuff off. This cardstock. Roll. But you do not want to crease your mat, so just gently start to roll. Okay? And you've seen I used quite a bit of pressure on my brayer. But let's put it in the machine and let it cut, because I do know my vinyl will want to stick, because it started happening yesterday. So I'm going to pause, the camera. I'm going to get all this set up, and we're going to do some cuts, and then I'll come back. Okay. So here we have a little fishy cut from the machine. And these are re-zigged mats. But I'm just going to take my scraper, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to start rocking it around, okay? Because I do know that these will stick if I allow it. But the trick with this is if your pressure is high, and I have noticed this, especially when I did the pressure video. If you have high pressure, it does cram your material right down into the mat and makes it not want to stick. Which, people that cut fabric and use a high pressure, I have no idea how you get it off. Okay, so if I just start picking at this, there's a good probability that I'm going to bend my cardstock. So what I do is I roll it and I pop it. Okay, just like that. You roll it from all sides. Let it start popping up. Okay, then grab it, rock it. If it looks like it wants to stick somewhere, grab the flat side of your scraper and just start wiggling, and there it goes. It'll pop right up. Scrape, get all that junk off of there. There's the back side. No pulling. Alright, let's check this vinyl, because this can be kind of stinky. But the thing with the vinyl is you don't really, nope, you don't have to worry. And this one was just re-zigged. As you can see, it's not dirty. The vinyl doesn't matter if you pull this backing off. But if it does, just take your scraper and scrape. Especially if you really want to get like a hard edge. Like I had that old green one. I don't remember. It's in my little box of stuff here. But get a real firm edge one and just scrape across it. Okay? That will help you get off any paper, any bad stuff. Also with your mats, where the wheels run, make sure you keep that really clean and free of any adhesives or bad stuff, okay? Because that will get stuck around the wheels of your machine, and it can actually break your machine. So my mats may look kind of gunky, but they're always clean where they need to be. Alright guys, so that's the roll and release. Roll this mat, okay? Roll it, stick your scraper under there, and rock it, or almost like a saw it, but don't crease your mat. You crease your mat and that crease will not come out, and it'll present cutting problems for you. And another thing I really want to mention, and this video is a good one to do it in. If your vinyl has creases in it, take your scraper and try to rock them out before you cut. Because it will actually make your cutter jump and not cut appropriately. Same thing, if you have a crease or a knot in your mat, it's going to make your cutter not cut appropriately, okay? Because as it follows the cut line, it's going to hit it and it's going to jump. Alright guys, if you have any questions, come and find me over at ScanNCut Canvas and Scal Help. Thanks a lot.